And the consequences are severe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, use your senses wisely, because every time you see something you learn, every time you hear something you learn, and the news is being transferred from people to people, from heart to heart. If you do not learn how to keep it and use it wisely, then on the day of judgment, the same three senses are or will be put to question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna sam'a, the faculty of hearing, wal basara, and eyes, sight, wal fu'ada, kullu ulaika kana anhu mas'ula. Everything will be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Surah Yasin, it's something so scary. He says, subhanAllah, today we are using eyes and ears and gathering information. And whatever we feel like it, we say it. Whatever we feel like it, we keep it. But tomorrow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to seal these senses, these information tools, these learning tools. They said, الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. Today we are going to seal on their mouths. Because with the mouth we used to spread false information and rumors. الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ, and their hands will speak. So the other parts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the power and ability to speak. Now this is the last summary of what we did. And I found in a seerah book, somebody recommended the steps about what Rasulullah used to do. So as a community and as a firm, we need to learn this and spread and educate our families and children. He recommended Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam a few steps. Number one, عدم الالتفات إلى الشائعات. He said we shouldn't pay attention, first of all, to the rumors, if we understand. And understanding rumors is not difficult. In just a few minutes we know that this is nothing but a rumor, so we don't pay attention to that. Two, النهي عن تناقل الأخبار. It's completely not permissible to entertain those and tanaqul, to transfer to other people, to other people, to other people, to other people, until everybody knows it. Two, عدم اتخاذ أي إجراء فور وصول الشائعة. And we shouldn't take any step in a hurry as soon as the rumor is received. Care is required. Investigation is required. Verification is required. Until and unless due process of verification is being completed, no one is authorized or required or allowed to spread the news. At-tabyinu wal-awda'. That's why the third step is verify the facts. Ask people. Gather evidences. All these. Number, know the sources. Ma'arifat al-masadir also. Know the sources. From where? Who spread this? From where it came? Who said first? All these. Number 5 is istisharatul aqla. Was the right? Consult your team. Wise people. Have a meeting. Verify. And put a strategy with one voice that this is a spread, rumors are being spread in town. This will be a collective approach. And that's why they said, Rasulullah is saying that from his uswa, from his actions, all these had been summarized. And number 6 is, after you verify this, idahul haqq. Go ahead and announce the truth. Say, this is the truth. So people won't get misleaded. So people won't get confused. So that's why, like for example, the in charge, the leadership, the imam, people on authority, they should come out and announce to the people, whatever you are hearing or you will hear, it is wrong, it's false. So this is called idahul haqq. And istimrar fi nashr al-haqq. Continuously keep doing. This is wrong, this is the right thing to do. And number 6 is called as-sabr was-sabat. We need to be patient, because when rumors start, there is onslaught. There's a lot, everybody's talking about that. So we need to be patient and consistent. And the last but not least is something so beautiful. He says, in the case of rumors, and this would be the last point for this presentation, inshallah, Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that at no time leave the path of hikmah. Use hikmah. Use wisdom. Think. Think what should be done. It's just not like fun to do or to say whatever I feel like it. No. It is something, it concerns everything. And he said, use hikmah. Use wisdomful approach. And then he said, one of the examples that was given, that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ista'zana Umar, he said, this munafiq, Jarir bin Abdullah al-Bajali, he was known as the spreader of wrong information, and Umar ibn Khattab asked Rasulullah's permission to take care of him. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam studied the ground realities, and he took a decision. And it was so nice, because the leader knows what to do, and the leader knows what is not, or what could not be appropriate at this time. So the decision that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took, and he communicated to Umar ibn Khattab, was this. He said, Ya Umar, da'ahu. Leave him for some time. We don't want to give him a consequence, like a physical elimination. We don't want to kill him. Why? Because he realized, he said, لا يتحدث الناس. I don't want the people outside to talk أن محمدا يقتل أصحابه, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kills his own people. Wisdomful approach. Because doing something that could harm the cause of the community, the cause of individuals. So the decision should be based on pure, careful thinking, wisdomful approach, and taking the most right, appropriate, wisdomful strategy to deal with those. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to understand, and whatever is being said here, it is true, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If there is some forgetfulness, it's from me and the shaitan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put this into our practice. And I conclude my talk by sharing with you what Abu Darda radiallahu anhu said. He said something beautiful. He said, Ta'allam. The first step is acquire knowledge, learn. And then when you're done knowing, what happened? Ta'alam, you will know it. And then once you know it, فَإِذَا عَلِمْتَ, when you are done knowing it, then فَعْمَلْ بِمَا عَلِمْتَ, then act upon what you have learned. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to be responsible and to guide us to the right path. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
We have 6 minutes for questions.
Say it again.
We have 6 minutes for questions.
Well, so I finished before time?
Yeah.
Allah. Allah. So you will invite me again. Yeah. Because I know those who take time, those are all don't invite you. Yes.
So let's say, for instance, a crime has been committed or something bad has happened, and you know the person who is affected, who's been affected by this situation, and you come across some information, you don't know if it's true or not, but you tell the person who's been affected, you should look into this perhaps because I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I've heard that maybe this had happened or this person was involved. So you tell that one person with a disclaimer that you don't know if it's true or not, but you should look into it. Is that okay?
I think in the light of my study and the topic, I think the wise approach is that if we happen to know who the source is, or if a person volunteers and he says that I did by mistake, I think we should explain to him in the light of Quran and the Sunnah, and the best person to do that is of course the Imam or a knowledgeable person in the community, because as far as I understand, it all happens because of no ilm. When you do not have proper ilm, then you are in jahl, in the process or in the stages of jahl. So I think that the more we learn, that's why I personally believe that even us adults, we need to refresh and update our knowledge of deen. So rumors or any other thing is part of that. And I think one of the things that I noticed that, again, Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, he said, he saw a fight on the street, and he said, لا تسبوه ولا تضربوه. Yani, if you would like to discipline a person for committing something wrong, sinful, then do not curse him. So verbal abuse is not allowed. ولا تضربوه, and don't hit him. So physical abuse is not allowed. ولكن عظوه وبصروه. I think that approach of giving nasiha, take him to a corner and tell him what you did, because that person has iman, so he will understand. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Hard to even ask, but since you gave the example of Maryam alayhi salam, and when she came back with the baby, that's considered rumor or what, slander. But in response to that, somebody could say, but she had a baby, because they didn't know what happened or what it was from Allah. So they would be like, we're only repeating what we're seeing. You understand what I'm saying? Asking. So
I think there are two different things. One is by simply getting to know. Of course, something, as you said, was unusual for them, so they have seen it. But as I say, there is something called what. What means what has happened. The content or the scene or incident. But there is something called how. How are you going to approach to a specific, even emerging situation? So I think most of it deals with the way they approached Maryam, and they directly, because they didn't investigate. They didn't try to find out that there was, Isa alayhi salam was a mu'jiza, was a miracle. That birth of a baby was a miracle. And so they didn't have no understanding with that. And it's one of the 4 examples that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He creates without nothing. The example is Adam. He doesn't need a male and female. And then He can create only from a male, a female, and that's Hawa. And then without father, only with mother, and that's Sayyidina Isa. And then of course, a male and a female, when they come together, a child is being born. That's a regular, standard way of creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I think the way they reacted is because, for 2 reasons. One is, they were shocked to see what's happening. But at the same time, because they didn't have the prior information, so they went far too extreme by accusing her committing with a moral act. And that's wrong. So that's why perhaps Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about it. And anyway, something which is wrong is wrong. So a rumor, false information, at the end can become a rumor also. So that's why I added purposely, the word false information. Because there's a lot of false information is being across the ages, is being spread about other people to defame them. A lot of time people spread the false news to defame people, to insult people. Because as soon as if I keep on hearing something bad about you from like 20 people, I just have to start thinking bad about you. So that's suspicion. And that's false information. Yes, please. So if there is no more question, then I would like to say thank you for this honor. And Jazakallah, brother Tanveer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you lots of light, more, because your name is Tanveer. And by the way, his name is so special. Nawwara yunawwiru, Tanveer means the person who gives light to others. So you give light to MCMC. Yeah, so that's an appreciation for you. Am I right, Ya Sheikh? I said, am I right?
Let everybody judge.
I loved your answer. I love your answer. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Right.